Hello, Jeff.
You know what's funny? Is I just saw Matt say I'm here in the comments.
I saw that. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Where the Dogs of Society Howl. It appears that our guest today has gotten lost en route to the program, and he's in the comments, but he's not actually in the StreamYard studio where he belongs. So
it's fine.
We're hoping that he'll drop by when he has a second. Hi, Brad. Brad says no chance. I asked Brad Reiser, Paul Reiser's brother. I think. Can you confirm, Brad, that you're related to Paul Reiser?
Right.
Apparently, he says there's no chance in hell that he's going to come on in Matt's place and answer the same questions we were going to ask Matt. So,
that would be interesting. It's funny too because we had David Lee Roth's brother on.
Just everyone's brother is on. Did I ever tell you about the time we chicken called Tony Bon Jovi?
No.
Yeah, we got a hold of John Bon Jovini's brother, Tony. We got a hold of his number and chicken called me relentlessly.
Oh my God.
We were what a bunch of scamps.
What a bunch of hooligans.
Oh my God. Brianna Brew, winning comments so far. Is it menopause or men on pause? Good one. I like it. Yeah, so I'm confused every time I look at the show title today because the word menopause is in it, and I don't think Jeff or I have any legitimate position to share on that.
No, definitely not.
Brad says Paul Reiser's his uncle.
I better give Matt the link again just so that
Well, cool. I appreciate everyone coming in. Phaedra's in the motherfucking house.
That's right.
Who else we got there? We got Greg and Stefan and Rich. All the gang showing up. We love that. Jeff and I were prattling on while we wait for Matt to get in here. We were talking about just some rock and roll stuff. And I was listening to Bark at the Moon, Ozzy Osbourne, and Jake E. Lee. Really one of my favorite Ozzy Osbourne bandmate guitarists,
Unbelievable.
I love that guy. And we were talking about that whole string. And I was talking to one of my old bandmates yesterday on the phone. We were talking about I don't know, something about some studio we recorded in, and I went down the rabbit hole and was trying to figure out where in the world does that place still exist? Does the guy who ran the session still exist? Is there any way I could get a hold of the master tapes somehow? Steven was pretty sure that they probably just recorded over them.
Or discarded them.
But what I learned was, a couple of things. I learned that this studio was called The Outpost, and it was down in Canton or Stoughton, Mass. I don't remember I remember being there. I remember going into the bathroom and seeing a wet cigar on the shelf in the shower. I don't know why I was looking in the shower, but I was curious, just peeking around. That was gross and weird. And the guy had this enormous Doberman Pinscher that was like so freaking aggressive. Pretty sure I peed myself trying to get into the building. And then it turned out to be the sweetest dog ever. It just was doing its job, right?
It does its thing, right?
It does its thing. But the funniest thing, and I was telling you this, Jeff, was that this band experienced this recording. We were in high school. It was 40 years ago.
Oh, it's so crazy, man.
40 years ago.
I hate that. I hate you just saying 40 years.
It's so deranged.
It is. It's wacky.
And
get your head around it. It's like
God Almighty. And then we were talking about the time when people started using what were they, Jeff? Wireless packs on their guitars.
Yes, we were talking about swinging the guitar around your neck.
Dude, somebody somewhere swung a guitar, like threw it over their shoulder. It swung around their neck, and they kept playing. And it just set the bar at such an unfair level.
Now there's gymnastics involved besides
playing. Like, who could do that? And how do you practice it? Not that I didn't try. I was saying I tried. I was in my backyard with like an aria guitar, and I like threw it around my neck, and the strap came off, and it flew over the fence into the neighbor's yard. And I had to literally go get it. So much for rock and roll there. Not the coolest move.
And then the neighbor was probably like, frisbees, I get, footballs, I get, but what's this bass guitar doing in my yard?
Wacky.
All right.
Yeah. So hopefully our man on the inside outside is going to make his way into the building here.
He is in the green room.
He's in the green room? All right, good. We finally got our guest. Awesome. Yeah. I don't know if Robert's making it in today. He has been ill, or as we say in the industry, sick as fuck. So, today's show, without further ado, is titled Marriage, Menopause, Comedy, and Other Survival Skills. We're going to find out exactly what that means. We're going to talk about relationships, domestic absurdity, content creation, and perhaps the weird little social crimes people commit every day without getting arrested or probably even knowing it. Our guest today is a comedy writer, a comedian, and a content creator. He's got the gift for taking everyday madness of marriage, adulthood, social behavior, and modern human conditioning and turning it into some kind of comedy that makes you laugh, wince, and immediately text somebody and say, oh, this is us. So I've watched his material and it's fabulous. He is going to be super cool today. By his own description, he's the husband of an entrepreneurial premenopausal wife. Say that 3 times fast. And which may be one of the boldest and funniest bios anyone's ever given to us. So interestingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Where the Dogs of Society Howl stage, Mr. and Mrs. No, just Mr. Matt Hyams.
Yes. Whoa, look at that.
Everybody. Sorry about the confusion earlier.
I could tell you missed hair and makeup. You were a bit late, but that's okay. You look fab.
Was the food okay in the green room though? Was it
what?
Was the food okay in the green room? Was it?
Did
they have good potato salad? Is the best, isn't it?
The shrimp.
That potato salad's been in there since last week, so I hope you didn't get too involved with it. So Matt, for the people that are meeting you for the very first time, let's tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a comedian. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I've always wanted to be a comedy writer, and I'm a stand-up. So yeah, I've been I live in Philly with my family. I'm from Westchester, New York. I don't know how far back you wanted me to go. My father abandoned me when I was a baby.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I grew up in a ashram environment in Miami until I was 9. Then we moved to New York. Lost my virginity at 15. And happy to be here,
TMI.
Let's go back to that virginity losing thing. Yeah, let's dig into that for a while.
Sure. I was hoping we would today. I can also give a link to my the woman who lost it to. I can find her LinkedIn profile, maybe.
Please,
we'll share it in the comments.
Let's get her on.
Yeah, let's get. Well, you got it on, so let's get her on. This is your
life.
I definitely didn't get her on that night, but
it
was early.
It happens. We're all human, right?
That's right.
15. You know what you want from me.
Yeah, I know. What are you supposed to be, like Ron Jeremy?
Seriously.
Yeah. I shared a steak with Ron Jeremy once. I didn't do it willingly. He was next to me at a table, and he leaned over and cut a piece of my steak and ate it. And I was like, dude, you can just eat the whole fucking thing. I'm not kidding. That's a real story.
That's weird.
Where was that?
Yeah, it's like, just finish it. You're gross.
Yeah.
Weird.
You were at a table? You were at a dinner party?
Yeah. When I living in Hollywood, a buddy of mine, oddly enough, was in porn. Not in it so much, but he wrote about porn. His job was writing reviews for Hustler magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd occasionally get our arms twisted to going to events. And at one of these events was a dinner, and my table mate was Ron Jeremy. It was quite alarming.
Did he fall asleep?
I try to get a tetanus shot every few years just to keep up.
He's like the one guy that Howard Stern won't have on his show.
Yes.
Who I heard he would show up a lot,
Yeah.
which is very insulting.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're on
He was
Stern.
known to like almost let you like fall asleep like during a conversation and things like that too.
That's
really?
called drugs, Jeff.
I know that now.
Drugs.
I learned about that. Yeah.
He's got a lot of weight holding him down. So maybe it's
Right. He does
blood
carry a bit of weight, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, we're off to a good start. Anybody
think
has
so.
questions or allegations they'd like to make, please leave them in the comments.
Yes, absolutely. I'm monitoring them.
I can't see anything. I'm assuming.
No worries. You don't want to get distracted with that. So were you always kind of a funny guy growing up, or did where did it all come from?
I guess so. I mean, better asked to like my friends of mine, but yeah, I think from freshman year of high school onward, I always think I was considered funny. My friends were funny. I think being funny was like a big part of my friends group in general, and we're always like riffing and like one-upping each other, and just going on like a tangent for like an hour is like a big part of my childhood. So yeah, like I've always wanted to. Being funny has always been like part of my self-worth, I think, and part of my friend group. Were the people at the party, who were like sort of in the corner, like going off a joke for like way too long, and annoying people. So yeah. So and then yeah. So I hope I was always trying to be funny. I mean, sometimes it got me.
When did the fire get started, right? Like when did comedy go from something that was just fun, with your friends and stuff, into something that you were chasing?
Well, kind of like a senior year of college, I'd always thought I'd be a musician, actually. I was a guitar player, and I really liked like fusion and jazz funk and stuff. I love Steely Dan. I thought I always wanted to be like a guitar player, like in Steely Dan, those kind of guys, those session player guys. But senior year of college, something just like shifted. I don't remember. It was just all of a sudden, and it was like so clear. I was like, I want to be a comedy writer, and like I not only I want to be, like I feel like I'm supposed to be. It was like in my heart. So it was that year, and then after college, I moved to Los Angeles to pursue that dream, and I was there for about 4.5 years, and I didn't really get anywhere. I was like really insecure. I had a sort of an unhealthy mix of thinking I was great and then also having no confidence.
How long were you?
So, yeah, and not wanting to play by the rules of like how things are done, how people move forward. I was like, I got my brother at the time was also in LA, and he knew a TV producer, and he was like, "Do you want to?" He's like, "This guy's looking for like a writer's assistant. Do you want to be a writer's assistant on the show?" I was like, "No, I don't want to be a writer's assistant. I want to be a writer." Duh. Like,
yeah.
And you just, a lot of people, they do the right thing. They go through like UCB or the Groundlings, and they do like improv, or they like have like specific. I didn't know if I wanted to be a sitcom writer or a sketch writer or a late night writer or what, and I just was like discombobulated, and consequently I failed.
Well, I wouldn't say that just yet.
Well, I didn't get anywhere. I didn't like.
Well, yeah.
So I was sort of lost.
Yeah, that was like my musical career. It was just a series of not getting anywhere. And who, like, being a comedy writer, it's funny. Comedians and comedy writers, it's two different things going on, and a lot of people start that way in writing. And but for you, either growing up or at any point in your life, even now, who are some of the comedy writers that you looked at as aspirational, or that's what's inspired? I want to be that.
Yeah, I didn't know about comedy writers, like the writing part. I only knew comics, comedians, and funny movies and actors that I liked. Like I don't think I even really tuned into like what a comedy writer was until I got to LA, and I started like seeing names and credits. I'd like Seinfeld show, writing credits, and Simpsons writing credits, and Larry David became part of my life. He's sort of my favorite, he's a big hero of mine. And growing up, it was more just like, a John Cusack movies, Better Off Dead,
Mm-hmm.
The Father and Family Ties, Michael Gross, who I still think is hilarious.
Yeah.
There was a kangaroo in my living room. It's a quote from the show I can never forget when like Alex has the whole like mask. Anyway, yeah, Cosby Show. Sorry, but I did watch it, and
It was funny
we had
till it
like Robin
wasn't
Williams
funny.
Live at the Met on VHS. I watched
Mhm.
a lot. The Chorus Line we had on VHS, which I thought that was a funny movie. And then I watched like every single comedian possible. There was also this movie They Call Me Bruce when I was a kid that was on like so much in the summer of '84.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
watched it incessantly. They just kept, because they didn't have a lot of content back then, so HBO just kept replaying things over and over.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I
would
watched
see
this
it like
movie,
times a day.
like Cannonball Run, and then I
Cannonball
devoured
Run.
What was that? Remember
Cannonball Run,
Oh my
classic.
God.
It
I'm
just
Gen
doesn't
X, so like, yeah.
it doesn't hold up today.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Better Off Dead, like, is one of my favorites, right?
Yeah, great one.
But the companion to that is One Crazy Summer.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Watch
Oh,
that
yeah,
one too,
yeah.
Because they both incorporated that like animation in it too, and these really just wacky things going on. And I always loved those two movies. I could watch them back to back.
Better Off Dead is like one of the most original movies ever. I don't know how it holds. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I just thought it was such an original, such a weird, wacky movie back then.
It
John
is. I have to go watch it again.
Pop.
Yeah, and like I Want My $2,
I Want My $2. That still holds up today.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people get it.
The two Japanese guys at the traffic lights keep showing up to race him. You calling him a loser?
There's so many.
To finish off, I devoured every stand-up show possible. Like back then, there was '80s at the Improv, VH1, MTV, Young Comedian Special on HBO, Dangerfield's Young, and I watched all of it.
What did you think about when Eddie Murphy came on the scene? Because it was
Eddie
different.
Murphy was my favorite.
Yeah, it was so different. It was
I would cackle. It was the funniest. Raw and Delirious were huge.
I want half.
What? I want half, Eddie. Yeah.
Eddie, I want half.
Oh my
And the
God.
drunk dad. It's my house. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he had some great stuff. And I mean, he's still funny today. What did you think about that though? Like in terms of like someone like himself, even Conan O'Brien, I love him. They've got like a mannerism that's uniquely theirs. Is there, I don't know, where does that even come? Do you think it's just personally who they are, or is it something that you think that they kind of create along with the comedy itself that kind of goes together?
Yeah, I think the latter. I don't know. Conan, I don't know. I know he was a writer and then he got the show. I imagine, if you watch early Conan, like the first year of his talk show, he's stiff and awkward. He doesn't really know how to do it yet. And so I think that, but then people would always say who knew him, like, Conan's really funny if you hang out with him. So, and he was obviously a really funny writer and everything. And I know he was on the Lampoon. Yeah. So I think that and then as he was on TV more year after year, you can tell he like got more comfortable. He got quicker with going back, with people having a repartee and everything on the spot. So I think I'm guessing, and I don't know him. So, but just as a viewer, he looks like someone who got more comfortable and developed his TV manner, just trial by fire, Yeah. And then Eddie Murphy, I think, is probably, he was doing stand-up and comedy stuff since I just watched that documentary of his on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. And it seems like he was always funny. And I bet his whole stand-up thing, like by the time he got to Raw, I think he was just honed from clubs. Like I do stand-up. I'm not as like flamboyant as like Eddie Murphy, on stage. He's a great performer. I don't have those chops. I'm very much like stand still, like, Sam Morril or something like, yeah, I'm more like in that style. You just like,
yes,
you have jokes. I hope you like my personality. And I'm sort of like a bitter husband character or something on stage, I guess I would say. But but at the beginning, but which is all to say that you have to get on stage, whether it's on a TV show stage or just a club stage, and just do it over and over and over again, and then slowly your jokes change because you start to see like a theme developing and like what people are laughing at and like who you are, and then your manner starts to shift, and you start to like, if your jokes are sort of like mirroring your life, your manner will match it, and then the package will sort of come together. Of like what you look like, what you're saying, and how you stand on stage.
I think, and we're getting a lot of great comments in here, Jeff. Feel free to pop a few up. And Renee is saying, just the personal, natural part of the person that becomes their trademark. I agree with that. Do you agree, disagree, vehemently deny that? I think comedy, stand-up comedy, is specifically probably one of the scariest, most vulnerable positions to put yourself in.
It's so vulnerable. It's like I never don't get nervous before going on. I'm always like frantically like looking at my notes and like, oh my God. And you're looking looking at people, you're like, who are these people? And hopefully you're not first, so you can like get a read on the audience, like
see what they're reacting to.
And then like, oh, they didn't like, oh, I gotta revamp this set. This isn't gonna work. There's that famous story, I don't know if you've ever seen it or heard Larry David talk, say where he, in the 70s, he went up on stage and did like a pan across to like just scan the audience before he said anything, and then he was like, I don't think so, and then he just left.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
that's an Andy
Kaufman
type of
he
move.
just got a vibe from the crowd that they weren't gonna like him. He didn't like them, and he wasn't gonna put himself through it.
I love that.
I love that.
It's a famous story. Yeah, because like
that's funny.
You don't. It is. Yeah, and so to answer your question, it's extremely vulnerable and scary. And then, the more you do it, it gets less scary. You're always vulnerable. You can like, you look at any documentary where they just interview famous comedians, and you'll hear from the guys at the top who are just like, they bomb. They think they're like doing great. They're like one of the most famous comedians, and then they bomb. And they're like, I'm nothing. I'm an amateur. I suck shit. Like I shouldn't even be doing this. Right. And that's how it makes you feel.
I can imagine. It's hard. Stephen has a question. So, now that everybody has a smartphone, right? Is it hard to do the live act with like people holding up their phones and stuff?
It is for. It is for the guy. Was it Kramer?
Yeah, well, it's hard if you're racist and you have everyone has a smartphone.
That's
problematic.
If you're saying the N-word a lot of times, you might want to. What happened there? I think if you're famous, I think it's not a real problem for me. Like if anyone wants to film my set and put it online, like by all means, like do so. I don't. I also like when I'm going to do my strictly racist set where I'm like making fun of Black people and Asian people and women. I tell everyone you have to leave your phones outside. So
I see. That makes sense to do that.
So
and then you take that bag that they put their phones in.
That bag. And I usually bring about 50 with me just to make sure. And no, I think if you're famous, it matters. Louis C.K., I think when he was re-entering the comedy scene, one of his sets got leaked, and it didn't fare well for him. And I've been to comedy shows for big name comedians, and I've had to put my phone in that zip bag, that lock bag.
Yes, I had to as well. I remember doing that.
Yeah. So I think, and then if you're, I've also seen comics on stage, like either in YouTube videos or just live. When I saw someone recently, and someone was like holding their, like, are you videoing this right now? And they're like, you can't do that. So I think if you're famous, it's a problem. If you're not, it's not. Really.
Yeah, I could see that. I've always said. And for me, I learned this. I always felt, nervous before performing or going on stage or doing anything like that. Very nervous. But I realized that if you're not really nervous about that, you're not actually ready to go do it.
I agree.
Yeah. I think nerves are part of the experience, and anybody that's like, whatever, I got this, they suck. They end up tanking because they're not ready. They're not having a realistic reaction to this thing that's going to take place.
Yeah, I think you want a little nervous energy to like it like kicks you into gear to like perform. If you're like
Yeah.
too, confident, there's that. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are really confident. I mean, I don't know if Prince ever got nervous before going on stage or something. Is
He
like,
was in his own world.
do you think Prince is ever like?
I think he
wonder if
just
they're gonna
got
like
nervous when he was trying to figure out which pair of heels to wear on stage.
Yeah, right.
So he probably got quite flustered, I would imagine.
Like, and he always picked the right pair.
He
But,
did. It didn't really
Yes.
matter what pair he wore. He was a god among men.
I wonder if Seinfeld gets nervous or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe not anymore. I don't know. I don't know if it's like losing that nervousness isn't. I don't think it's necessarily a sign of complacency, but maybe there just comes a point where I would imagine a Seinfeld, just watching him on screen. It seems like he's just kind of come to terms with what he does, what's expected. And it's just probably second nature at this point, not to minimize the difficulty of what you guys do. But like in his case, I go, he probably just has, he has his thing. He knows he can go do it, unleash it, and people expect it, and that's what they want, and off they go. What do you think about, though, for folks that maybe have been in this industry for a very long time and go like, I don't want to fucking do those jokes anymore. I want to do something else. I feel like sometimes that could go either way.
Like people who
you're known for your Seinfeld's known for his, you ever wonder why, it's like, people expect that. And I wonder if he's just like, oh my God, do I really have to continue doing this?
So not necessarily a specific joke, just a style, like a brand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think people evolve. And I think probably just people evolve organically. And like, I'm trying to think of like,
I think it's harder for what? I was just gonna say, I think it's harder for musicians because you hear this all the time.
Yeah.
Especially for bands that have been playing for a long time. And they're like, I don't want to play that song again.
Right.
But everybody wants to hear that song, you know?
Yeah, I'm sorry, millionaire. But trot on out here and dance for us, monkey.
Right.
That's what you're here for. We don't care. I was watching something the other night. It was like Tommy Lee doing some band thing where he's singing and playing guitar. And I'm like, you asshole. Like, just stop it. Nobody cares. Just get behind
I think it might be harder for musicians, actually. Yeah. I think people are like Sting or like, be the Police. We don't want to hear,
Right. We don't want to hear Sea of the Blue Turtle.
Yeah, right. Like that I feel like he moved into like a menopausal phase. And everyone or like, I don't know. I can't think of a comic who people were like, we don't like this new phase of you. We prefer you in the old. Woody Allen, I think, went through that a little bit, actually. When he got serious and people were like, we want you to be funny again.
Right.
Sorry to bring up. I feel like I bring up every controversial.
I know. Like, you almost can't bring anybody up anymore without there being like something.
Started off kind of serious, though.
Yeah. But I think he went through it a lot. I think he addressed it too in like one of his movies. Can't remember which one, but where they were like, "Why aren't you funny anymore?" That kind of thing. Yeah. And so I think maybe filmmakers but I can't think of it. Can you think of a comic who got that criticism?
No, but like when comics are characters, like they develop a character as their act. They can't just go and not do that anymore. I mean, that they're kind of stuck with it. Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, like I'm thinking of Andrew Dice Clay. That little experiment should have ended so long ago. In my opinion.
He's still alive. I mean, he's still.
Oh, I know. Well, is it living though?
He has a funny Instagram presence, actually.
He does. It's almost come full circle in a weird way. I don't know if it's like, though, for me, when I've seen it, I'm like, I don't know if this is sad or funny.
Like Gilbert
Gilbert
Gottfried.
It's almost delusional.
Yeah.
Well, you want to hear a funny Dice story? Which I was at I started stand up in LA during those 4.5 years, first 4.5 years after college when I moved there, and then sidebar, I took a 10-year break, but I was at the Comedy Store one night performing in the belly room, which is their upstairs smaller room, and I came down at like midnight or 1 in the morning or something, and this is also like a time when like the Comedy Store now is like this hot place. It's like the mecca of comedy. Everyone wants to be at the Comedy Store. But there was a weird period, and I've heard Mark Maron talk about it on his podcast, where this is like 97 to like 2000, where it was in a weird place and it wasn't in its heyday. It was like dark and lonely and kind of felt gross inside. Like I never liked really being in there. I almost felt I would feel more comfortable in a strip club, I feel like, than I would at the Comedy Store. And I don't feel comfortable with strip clubs either, just for the record.
Right.
Only ones at the airport anyway, but no. So then so anyway, I came down from this show, I had done a show and I passed the big room and it was like empty except for like 1 or 2 audience members. And on stage was Dice, who at that point had kind of like his rise had sort of like disappeared at that point. I hadn't heard about him. He was still doing comedy, but I hadn't, like the whole like nursery rhyme thing had like come and gone, it seemed.
Yes.
And I hadn't heard about him for a while. And I was like, is that Dice on stage performing to like one person at like 1 in the morning?
That's weird.
And I was like, is this like my ghost of comedy future or something, like showing me? And I think that's why I actually stopped. I moved to New York after LA and I didn't continue stand up because I was kind of like, I don't know if I like the scene. And like, I don't know, Dice was like the biggest comic at one point. And now I felt weird. Like,
I know he had movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I were to name a comic and you were to just give me a one-word reaction, you prepared to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
I know who they are.
All right. Right on. Bill Burr.
Love him.
Okay. Pauly Shore.
Is that a word?
Well,
That's a real
Pauly Shore. No. Didn't his mother own the comedy factory or something?
Thing.
Yeah, something like that. I remember hearing that. Yeah.
Okay. How about let's see, Zach Galifianakis.
Genius.
Yeah. Who was the other one I was thinking? Oh, David Cross.
Kooky.
Yeah. What was his name? Sid Caesar. Was he a comedian? Am I making that up?
He did do live stuff. Yeah, he
did have that show, way back in the day.
The show of shows or something, right?
It wouldn't be a comedy discussion without Richard Pryor. Thoughts on Richard Pryor?
Legend. I'm just giving one word, right?
Yeah.
That comes from
absolutely. Absolutely. We only have money. We don't have the budget for more. We don't have
words. Just one word. How about this? How about this one? It's a newer one. Robbie Hoffman.
Oh, I want to. I like Robbie a lot. Refreshing.
Okay. And Larry David. No. I mean, no doubt. Like, if you put Robbie Hoffman and Larry David on the same stage, it'd be like they're related, right?
I think because Robbie's a former like Orthodox or Hasidic Jew. Right?
Yes.
Trans.
Right.
Left the scene. Yeah, I think, and she's got that Jewish cadence. Brooklyn Jewish thing. I think they would get along fine. I really like Robbie Hoffman. I really like, particularly like their subway takes that I saw recently.
What about Wanda Sykes?
Oh, so funny. It's 2 words, but cracks me up.
It is 2 words, by the way.
You can edit that.
So now we're in the red now. Margaret Cho.
Oh.
Silly.
Yeah. Last one for this little section we're doing here. Ruth Buzzy.
Oh my God.
I know the name. I can't think of the.
All right, folks, go Google Ruth
It's from
Buzzy.
Laughing, isn't
She
it?
was old school, man.
Yes.
You know, and what I find interesting about what was her name? I was going to say not Mary Tyler Moore. Who?
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin. That's who I was thinking of.
I
You know,
knew
they
it.
were doing it at a time when
Yeah.
there was no such thing. You know,
Yeah.
really. It wasn't like it didn't seem to be a welcomed asset to, you know, which again, of course, leads us back to today where that's sort of bullshit still going on. But until women run the world, we're just going to be sitting here fucked, you know.
Yeah,
And
Phyllis
I think
Diller, Joan Rivers, they were like
Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joan Rivers is one of my favorite. I think she's so
Epic.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great. She was a great one. So in your bio, we were talking about the line husband to an entrepreneurial perimenopausal, I can't even say it, wife.
Yeah.
What is that about? How did that become into your material, and why hasn't she ended your life yet?
She needs me
Yeah, okay.
to make her
Oh,
lunch and pick up our son from school and bring her dry cleaning and get her boots fixed and rub her head and back in bed and just tell her if her outfit looks good or not and if she needs to wash her hair in the morning.
all valid points,
question,
Matt.
what happened? How did that come about with that whole thing with menopause?
I think it's a great angle. I do.
Like, how did I start making fun of it? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Did you get clearance first, or?
I just went for it, you know.
Yeah, he probably has several hiding places he can go when he needs to, you know, stay low.
What was that? Do I have a place?
You probably have some hiding places you can stay low.
God,
Maybe he's got a
I
mulligan
have my
ready to go.
A little
There you
book, but, she can always find me. I you know, part of doing comedy, I'm just trying to make. Once upon a time, I had a dream of just being a comedy writer for TV, you know, and then Matt is the voice of an entire generation of women. Oh, Jessica Loria. We've spoken, she and I. Yeah, she's a fan. I love her. And so thank you, Jessica. And so I, you know, and then, but over the years, my dreams have shifted and I've gotten married and I'm a dad and it's harder to go out and like, I'm in Philly, I'm not in LA anymore. So like, you got to figure out different ways you got to shift your focus and your dreams. You got to adapt. And so stand-up's one thing, but I was like, you know, since I've been doing Instagram for like 10 years, so just trying like every idea under the sun that I can think of, you know. For a while I was doing a satirical keynote speaker idea and you know, and just doing all kinds of things. So then like a couple years ago, I put on the wig for the first time and I did my wife as the passenger, is doing a backseat. She's the worst backseat driver in the world. It's really infuriating. So I did her as the backseat driver, and then I did Living with My Entrepreneur Wife, which has since become really popular, but I actually posted it for the first time a couple years ago. So I actually put on the wig a couple years ago for the first time and did a few. And then they didn't get big responses, right? And then cut to December. So just one aspect is that I'm always just trying to do stuff for social media and figure out ideas and just stay alive in some way. So I feel like I'm still doing comedy, even though no one knew who I was and I have nothing to speak for it. And my wife's the breadwinner and I have no money and just trying to stay alive and be somebody. So then
you were talking about debating whether or not you could buy a pair of pants or whether you deserved to buy a pair of pants.
Yeah. And then, so then cut to December 23rd of 2025, just another day in my life. I'm like, I got to do something to stay alive, feel like I'm somebody and I'm moving myself forward. What's an idea I could do? I had an idea. It came to me. I'll do tips for men whose wives are going through perimenopause. Because my wife's going through perimenopause. It's a big topic in our house. Her friends are going through perimenopause. I've heard this word perimenopause for years now. Everyone's like, it's like she's been threatening she's going to go into perimenopause. My mother has had hot flashes since like the last 40 years. herself as a consequence of some drug she took after having breast cancer and going through chemo. So I've been aware of menopause my whole life. And then my wife is going through perimenopause, and her moods are like insane, and I get a lot of rage directed at me. So I was like, I'll do this video, tips for men whose wives are going through perimenopause. And I didn't think much of it, to be honest with you. I wasn't like, this video is going to take the world by storm. I wasn't even sure it was funny, to be honest. I was like, I just wanted to make something to feel like I had done something that day. And so I posted it.
I think John Wilkes Booth went through that same thing.
I got to kill somebody today.
I got to do something today that really stands out.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
You know what I'm going to do? I feel like I should go to the theater. Funky didn't know what he was going to do. Like,
yeah, right.
Get a big slushy, some popcorn, and I don't know. You know,
Grassy knoll.
I don't know.
Yeah, John Wilkes Booth.
You know, we don't have enough John Wilkes Booth comedy today. So if you're looking for an angle, run with that.
Did he get killed that night, or did?
I don't think so. I think they.
Or did they find him?
Took him away.
No, he got killed that night.
He did get killed that night.
Yeah,
I thought he jumped.
I don't know if it was that night. It might have been that night.
Yeah, did he
jump from the balcony and
onto
broke
the
his leg?
stage, broke his ankle.
Yeah,
little bitch.
I didn't really have that thought out.
Yeah, he didn't really think it out, did he?
I'll jump over. That should
Yell
be a
something in Latin.
Right.
I know this theater. It's my backyard.
Yeah. It's like if Brad Pitt did this. Like, what are you doing?
Like maybe run it by a friend, John. You know?
Maybe somebody other than.
I get the shooting link in. You're probably going to get that, but what are you going to do? You're going to jump over the balcony.
You're going to jump.
At that point?
That's
I'll jump over. Plan. I'll grab something. Shouldn't be a problem, and I'll just run out.
Yeah, and get away on
foot. I think that move inspired the Darwin Award. You ever hear the Darwin Award?
Darwin?
It's like help. It's like when people commit really bad crimes, but they end up, doing something stupid that kills them, right. and they win this award they give out the award. It's called the Darwin Award.
Stephen Raphael says he got away.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of our super fringy crazy friends here. No, I tend to. I actually don't disagree with them in some sense that there is a possibility that he may have escaped that blazing barn fire.
But we know who did it, so we must have caught him at some point.
Yeah, or he just straight up got away. He probably changed his name and appearance and went into the CPG industry is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Started a merchant food and beverage brand and never was seen again.
But you know, Matt, like I think what it is about comedy, what I love about comedy is that like when you're saying something that people start questioning whether it's real or not, right? Because you say it with such commitment. And I think a lot of times, maybe obviously the idea is that sometimes it's exaggerated, but everybody can kind of relate to having that sort of thing happen in their lives. That's funny when you think about it, but at the time you're not thinking it's funny, let's say. But I do think as far as like, it's one of those things where people are relieved when you say something out loud that they've been thinking in their heads, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it makes you feel less alone. It's validating,
Right.
A lot of times that's like with dark jokes, like it's people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said it. I can't believe he said what I was thinking already.
That's right.
Those things get by. Like if you look at like Anthony Jeselnik or something, everyone laughs because like they're horrible jokes. I mean, for instance, one of my favorite Anthony Jeselnik jokes is he's like, I had a son too. I had a son and he died. Sorry, he died the same way that Eric Clapton's kid died. For inspiration.
So rotten.
So horrible. But when
It's
you hear it,
Somebody should have screened that joke.
yeah.
Right.
But when you hear it,
Matt.
you're like, it's kind of true, you know. Like,
Right.
not that
Let me
tell
ask
the
you,
kids for that song, but
what did you yeah, that song does that. I can't even go there with that song.
No.
Although every once in a while I'll say it to my own kids.
Yeah.
You know, would you hold my hand if you saw me in heaven? And they're like, shut up, Dad, shut up. I'm like, all right.
If only Stevie Ray, you know, did. I won't
So
go there.
where is the most inappropriate place you've ever made a joke? And did you regret it, or were you kind of secretly like bathing in the glory of it?
Oh God, I mean, there are two things I'll answer to that, I guess. One is just it was appropriate. My mother came to my early on stand-up shows. And I was saying them in stand-up clubs, so it was appropriate to say whatever I was saying, but I was saying porn jokes, and it was really uncomfortable to say them in front of her, even though she's liberal and she's thought they were funny and she was cool with it, but it felt inappropriate on my end. And I
can imagine that's weird.
Yeah, last year I opened for my brother and his girlfriend at this place in New York, and a lot of our family members were there. I told like a pedophile joke, and
oh no,
I was like, you know, my aunt is there. She's like 90 years old, and I was like, why am I doing that? I told like, you know, telling jokes about women squirting on each other and
oh Jesus,
things like that. So that felt. Thank you, Phaedra. So that felt weird, but my wife likes to tell the story where like I'm Jewish and I don't feel so. I make a lot of self-effacing Jewish jokes because I'm just like I'm allowed to, and so I'll make Holocaust jokes, you know, in crowds. But what I forget to do, my wife always reminds me. She's like, you know, you were making Holocaust jokes the entire party, but you never said you were Jewish. Anyway, so no one knows. You know, so you just look like a Nazi. Like you just look like you're so I think that is probably my most inappropriate. So sometimes I forget because I don't have a filter really, and so I just start saying whatever I want to people, and then I forget that they may not know. First of all, that I may not even mention that I'm a comedian, and I may not mention that I'm Jewish, and so they're just talking to someone who looks like he hates Jews and thinks it's funny, you know. So that's when I get into trouble, I think.
Yeah,
no, that makes sense.
I can see that. Hey, before we've got about 10 minutes going on here. And Jeff, did you have something you wanted to give away today or something? Matt, we always do this thing where we challenge the audience to answer some kind of a random question and then send something of equal to no value in return. Which is always nice.
So this is related, to your content.
Well, I have these things that allow you to stick posters to a wall, and I'd be willing to send one out to somebody.
Wow, that's exciting.
Like I said,
I have a paperweight.
All right, why don't you give us that?
I have a squishy penguin.
Oh, nice. We can box them all up. We can box them all up. I love that.
And by the way, just before I tell this one, because we didn't mention it, I purposely didn't mention this piece of content on the show because it was the trivia question. But I love watching your keynote addresses videos in particular because I always think that's what they always do is they're telling you stuff and you're just like, really? Like if you actually believe it's gonna happen? Like
that's what I thought. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, that's what I.
No, I'm just saying.
Like take off as, but it didn't click with the general public.
Yeah, no, I thought it was brilliant.
Well, see, that's where we are. Jeff is not just the general public.
I know we're not
Jeff's
the
his
general
own
public.
Unicorn. My audience.
All right, so everybody's gonna have to type in like their YouTube or something. So
what number is Matt thinking of?
This is the question. What does Matt's wife need to eat more of all the time? and that's the trivia question.
Okay. All right. All right.
What
Well, while
what
you
is it
people
that
are
she needs to
thinking,
eat more of?
Richard Moniz is talking about
Mm.
Gianmarco Ceresi has a funny joke
Oh,
about
yeah.
R. Kelly. Oh, I don't know
I know
that.
that joke, Richard.
Okay.
Is it about the one about like how if you describe all the different kinds of pedophilia, you actually sound like a pedophile? Can he respond to that in a comment? If he can,
He
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
We'll see if he does.
Yeah.
You know, I know Richard's a busy
John
guy.
Marco's very funny. He's a
Yeah, I
really
didn't know who
quick,
that was.
great writer.
Who's the other guy? I loved his delivery. The guy, the Italian guy, he was big for a while, you know, on YouTube and Instagram. Super Jersey, New York Italian dude. He's like all quick and like, what's his freaking name?
Like a comedian, a stand-up?
Yeah, comedian. God. He's the one that used to do the joke about like, you know, the pound cake at home. This company, people are here, and you know, someone would bring the yeah. Love him.
Still big, by the way. He's like
I like him. I always did.
I love him. He's so funny.
It's like I recognize a lot of his jokes in my growing up experience.
He's from Chicago, actually.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him live. I think he's a genius. I think he's an incredible performer. No one can do what he does.
Richard did say that it was yes to the reference of that.
Oh yes, Sebastian.
But Rod looks like Rod got the answer. Protein.
Broccoli.
Oh, it wasn't broccoli. It was protein.
Rod got the answer,
but he spelled it wrong.
Oh well, then we have to give it to Ann Kurtzenberger.
Sorry, Rod. You spelled it wrong.
Rod. Public school.
Protein.
Yeah.
Protein. That's the French version.
I have an aversion to all caps anyway, too. So
really
when I see that, I just think
everyone
boomer. As soon as I see it, I say boomer.
Rod.
Rod can't spell. What's Rod spelled backwards?
I'm gonna send Ann a gift. I might send Rod a gift too. I don't know. I have to think about it.
And today you'll be receiving this one-of-a-kind Invisilope. It's an invisible envelope in which you can send things to other people, but it's made by Blammo and it's called Invisilope.
Nice.
You can also I'm sorry, you're breaking up. What?
Oh wait, that actually calms me. That's my ASMR.
That's right.
Is that? Are you really sending these things?
No,
we'll send something from Amazon.
Jeff does a Amazon spin the wheel and then just click stop and whatever that is we send. Last time it cost us, $375.
Right.
You should just send someone a washing machine or something.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
have it show up.
A Samsung washing. They'd probably complain and be like, Samsung, really? You cheap
really like
washing machine.
I love it. Hey, I love that you were here. It's such a different cadence and such a different style for us. And I really enjoy what you're doing. Where can people discover more about you, see more about you, send you checks or anything like that?
You can find me on LinkedIn. Look Matt Hyams up, or you could find me on Instagram. I'm pretty much at Matt Hyams, MattHyams, all together. On all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. The only difference is Facebook, I'm at Matt Hyams Comedian. Some other Matt Hyams got it first. And just find me on Instagram. That's kind of like my bread and butter right now. So
sweet.
Yeah, I'd love to make, I need the followers.
I love it, man. Well, we will do that, and we will.
I need to make that money.
We're going to toss some links in the show notes for later. And dude, this has been really great. I really loved having you on today. Thank you.
Yeah, this was awesome. So awesome. This was a great. I hope you liked it as much as I did. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no worries. The whole thing's AI, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Neither Jeff or I actually exist.
Perfect.
Well,
Oh,
hey,
cool.
everybody, thanks for coming on into Where the Dogs of Society Howl. I've been
Yes.
saying for weeks that we're going to have Anton LaVey on, but I have been informed that that is not going to be possible.
No.
So whatever.
No, he's passed away, actually.
Apparently. But I think what we should do on one of these upcoming shows, and let us know in the comments if you think this is a good
Yes.
idea.
Who's
I think we
Anton
should have a
LaVey?
medium. I think we should have a medium on to
Yes.
sort of
I think so.
interview whoever the fuck comes through.
Mhm. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, folks, ladies, gentlemen, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, thanks for coming in today. And we will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Jeff, do we know who's coming on next week?
Yes, we have our friend Nicole Light, founder of Power in Packaging.
Nicole Light, one of my favorite people. Awesome. Well, Matt, we will see you in the feed. We'll talk to you
Yes.
in the green room afterwards. We've got to, sign all the waivers and all that shit. So
Right.
don't go anywhere. And thanks everybody for coming in today. We appreciate you, and we'll catch you later.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
All right. Here we go.
Bye.
We're getting out of here. The show's ending. It is all.